Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth. I'm in my normal place in the car on the school run. It's a great time for me to make videos. I really enjoy it. Sorry if most of my videos are like in the car, but I'm always like through the day I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about? So I realised that I have not done a January homeschooling update, so I'm now doing a February homeschooling update. January is just missed entirely. And so I thought I'd let you know kind of how we're getting on. So if you don't know, I've got 3 children and I'm homeschooling all of them. So in the UK there'd be year 8, year 6 and year 2, and they do some things together, some things separately, and they do different like clubs each as well. So let's start with my eldest, Hope. So she would be year 8 if she was at school, and she is doing like we're working towards her GCSE exams. We've got those all booked in now. Finally, we have been to see the school where she's going to go and sit them so that she knows where to go, and it's all actually very easy. So that's really nice. There were like 5 separate exams, so she's got to go 5 different times, but it seems really lovely. Had to get her a passport today because she needs photo ID. And so she didn't have a passport, so she now has one, so she can go abroad, but none of the rest of us can. And she is doing really well. She's got into a really good rhythm now of doing her 2 subjects that she's doing for GCSE, plus prepping for GCSEs for 2026. So she's doing English language and physics. So she's kind of just prepping for those. She's doing kind of a couple hours a week for those. Plus she does piano. She's just about to sit her grade 2 theory exam, so she did a mock for that today, and she does singing lessons as well, and then she does like groups in the evenings and just different like lots of like youth groups, social groups, Bible study groups, that kind of thing. And so that's really lovely. I feel like she's really found her feet with the friends thing. She's like has friends over and goes out with friends, I think, fairly frequently, and that's really lovely. She went to her best friend's birthday party the weekend, and they were all from school, obviously apart from her, and she was a bit like, oh, they all knew each other, they were all talking about school, you know. I was a bit like not left out because they were really lovely and included her, but she's like, they're all in this other world that I don't really know about, you know, and they're talking about all the latest trends and all these different things. She goes, and I just don't really know about that. Now obviously as a parent I'm like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you also don't know about the bad things too. But I think really she would love to be with her best friend every day, and you know, if she could go to school and be guaranteed that in every lesson they would be together, and every lunchtime and everything like that, she would absolutely love that, because she loves her best friend and we love her best friend. She is lovely. But I'm like, yeah, but do you know what, you can see her but also not go to school. Like you can see her after school and you can see her in the holidays and stuff like that. So I think they're both going to try to make a bit more of an effort to meet up, because she's got lots of really lovely friends and some really close friends, but this is her like number 1 best friend, and they are really lovely together. And apart from her cousin, who's obviously amazing but lives like 4 hours away. So yeah, that's really nice. And actually their other cousin, who lives about 20 minutes away, she's going to be starting the high school in our town soon, in September. So I'm hoping that she might come to our house after school sometimes, because she's lovely and they get on really well too. So that's really nice. Sam, my middle one, he would be in year 6. And he is just doing really well. He's done so well at English that I'm a little bit like stuck with what to do with him for English. So I've signed him up to a reading club that he's been doing online, just something that he can make him think maybe a bit differently than I would. Like, he has done some online courses previously. They're reading the book Coraline, which, to be honest, is a bit weird, isn't it? Like, if you've ever read it, I like the cover is, you know, the girl with the button eyes, and we were reading it together because he didn't like it. Like, if he likes the book, he'll like read it like that. Like, he'll easily read like a chapter book a night if he's really into it, but he's got to be really into it. So this one I was like, look, I'll read with you, because this is obviously the text that they've chosen and it is freaky. I was like, oh, let's not read this when the 6-year-old is here, because that's a little bit scary. So it's a bit disappointing that they're doing like a weird book. I'm like, all the books you could choose, like, why are you doing that one? Anyway, he gonna say he's enjoying it, but it's nice to see him on the lessons. Nice, it's just another idea of something for him to do in English, because as I said, I was a little bit stuck. He's done all the Twinkle comprehension like up to year 9 and he's like got that really well. So we will do other things, but just for now he's doing that. Then he's been like writing stories and things, and then this week I also bought him like the EdXL year 7 to 9 book, so we're going to go through that together and just do like a couple pages. Then I'll set him a couple of questions and just do that like once a week, and then he'll have his reading and then his book club, so for his 3 English lessons a week. And then otherwise he's doing Topic with the littlest. They do Topic together, and that's been going really well. We've been doing Layers of the Ocean, which we're going to finish I think tomorrow, certainly this week. And I've got a really good experiment where we're going to do different liquids in a jar for the ocean layers. I've had to buy a couple of liquids because obviously they're different weights, aren't they? So I need them at different levels. Oh, I need to get some blue food colouring for that. I need to do that. So they're gonna do that as our final one, and then next week is like the last week before half term. So I think instead of starting a new topic, I'll just kind of maybe say Watch a Blue Planet or something, because to be honest, they are more educational than I could ever kind of do. They're amazing. So yeah, so he's been doing really well. He has been watching for science. They were doing Theatre of Science originally, which they really liked, and then to be honest, I feel like she's got a little bit too like technical, and so it wasn't so exciting for them, and I thought it was probably like more than they needed to know, and they didn't like it, and they were trying to watch it at double speed, and I was like, okay, fine. So instead he's been watching Mark Rober on YouTube, which again is great and very educational, but my sister teaches science, and I was talking to her about like the GCSE, because obviously you need a science GCSE if you want to go into sixth form or college. And she was saying about you do really need like a bit of a base knowledge of general science. So I'm going through Twinkle now with Sam. Did we start last week? No, this is the first week we're going to start actually. I prepped it last week, so I'm thinking of that. So we're going to go through that now and I just looked up like year 6 science, and they've got like all the different topics. So we'll just go through them one at a time. And not do too much on it, but just so he's got that kind of general base knowledge of science then ready for when he eventually in years to come takes his GCSE. What is he doing? He's doing really well at piano. He has got dyspraxia, and so years ago, he's only actually just been diagnosed with that, but I just thought it was part of his autism, like his coordination wasn't very good, but he has actually got dyspraxia, or they call it DCD now, disjointed coordination disorder, or something like that. Anyway, so he started piano lessons like before COVID. Did he start before COVID? Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did. And then COVID came, and so they didn't have lessons for like years. Then we got a new teacher, and but essentially he's been having piano lessons for years, and even his teacher was like, I didn't think he'd ever get to grade 1, but he's just started on doing you can do like a pre-grade to grade 1. And he's just started doing the pieces for that. So I think he's a little way off taking the exam, but he's doing really well. A place where we never thought he'd get to. And you can see him really concentrating really hard, like really trying to get his what's in his brain down to his fingers. So that is really lovely to see some improvement there. I'm trying to get him into Scouts, because I think that would be really nice. He already has. Does he just do one youth club? Trying to think. Yeah, he just does one youth club a week at the moment, and when he's like high school age, there's a couple others that he can go to with Hope. But I thought like he's not really into football, and so he can't really do a football club, so I thought Scouts might be nice for him. But to be honest, they are taking ages and ages to get back to me. Like I've emailed them weeks ago, and then I emailed them again, then because then I messaged a friend and was like, is this the right email? And she's like, yeah. And then they emailed me straight away, and they emailed me that morning, and then straight away I emailed back, and then they haven't got back to me for like another 10 days, which is a little bit frustrating. But anyway, because I think that he might really enjoy that. He is absolutely loving Forest School. It's literally his favourite place in the week, and that's really lovely. So he's getting on really well there. And then finally my littlest, so she would be a 2, and we just really stripped it back with her. I realised with her English that I was trying to keep up with the curriculum, I was giving her these worksheets. You know, we were doing things like homophones or metaphors. I was giving her these worksheets and she couldn't even read the worksheets. So what I've decided is just to focus on the reading, because it was really annoying her. She's like, well, I can't read what it says. And then obviously I had to read it to her, and then I was essentially giving her the answers because I had to read the whole thing to her. Whereas if she could just read it herself, I think that would take away a lot of the frustration and it'd be easier for her. So I was like, let's just concentrate on reading then. So we're going through Biff and Chip books. He's gone up another level now after Christmas, and she's getting on really well. When she gets stuck on some of her sounds, what I do then is, like, for the next week or the next lesson, make up a little game with that sound. So like we did oi the other day, and then she had to go like oi and then coin, oink, soil. I'm trying to think of other oi words. And we also did like, you know, ing and all and stuff like that. So that's helping her then, and we're then going through those sounds every week. And then she's doing the reading, and that's doing really well. And she is, when we're out and about, she's like, I can read that word, I can read that word, I can read that word. And it's really lovely. You can see like her confidence is really soaring. And she used to be like, well, I can't read, and now she's like, I can read some things, and that was really nice. Yeah, and then her math as well. So as you know, we're doing this kindergarten book, but that's really good level for her, and my goodness, she has really progressed. The other day she counted to 100, which I didn't know she could. Actually, she counted to like 26 or something for something, I can't remember what it was, and I had no idea she could do that. So I came back, told Josh, was like, this is amazing, she counted to 26. He's like, yeah, the other day she counted to 100 in the car. And I didn't know she could do that, so it's like amazing. And then she did it for me the next day, and so she's doing really well. They've gotten to the point now where they're doing like little pages of sums. I mean, there's like 8 sums on a page, it's not like loads, but she's doing them and she's really getting it. So she's really getting her number bonds to 10 now. She's really getting the adding. She always gets some wrong, but she's also getting lots of them right, more of them right than wrong, and that's really good, because before it would take her ages, she would just guess. So it's such an improvement for her, it's amazing. In fact, I saw a friend this morning and she was saying how her girl is really struggling before school, and what a stress it is, and, you know, not wanting to get dressed and not wanting to go to school, and then saying like, oh, you're going to work, no you're not, I'm going to be ill, don't get, you know. And I thought, I remember we had exactly the same, and now we don't have it. But sometimes when it stops, like gradually, you don't notice that it's stopped. And when it's only when she said it, I was like, oh yeah, I used to have that, and I don't get any of that anymore, because our mornings are like really chilled. It's really lovely. She's been waking up a bit earlier and being like, oh, can I have TV? Which they're not allowed TV in the morning, because that would encourage her to wake up early. I definitely don't want to encourage that. So she's just been getting on with stuff like colouring or drawing or making a den or something, and that's been really lovely. And I actually think like that's really nice that she's just been pretty chilled and calm, and a real improvement in her behaviour, which has been really lovely. She is also doing we've been doing science, and we've done that for ages, which she's really enjoying. We've just finished a thing on inventors, and I can't remember what's next, because we've literally just finished that. It's now the next day. Sorry, my phone went and it was my sister, so I had to talk to her, obviously. Yeah, new hair. I went and did my fringe. So like the first half of this video in the car, parting. Second half in my house, fringe. I'm like a different woman. So yes, the littlest is also doing really well in gymnastics. Absolutely loving that. She has got a new teacher at the moment, and he's really good and really pushing her on, so she's absolutely like just really enjoying that. It's giving her so much confidence as well. And then yeah, so all of them really loving their different groups. I feel like we've got into a really good rhythm now of different groups. There's like some after school, some evenings, some in the day, and it's just really lovely. I feel like we have fitted into a really nice routine, and that's yeah, it's really nice. Thanks for watching, guys. See you again soon. Bye.